Sabi niya na brainwash daw talaga tayo on the idea that our house is an asset. I heard it from few. One of them is si Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is one of the real estate investors that is saying that your house is a liability. Also, Warren Buffett is an investor in real estate. He didn't even bother buying a big house. I would like to share with you na merong upcoming opportunity sa Winnipeg. Ipag-pray natin 51 units in the north side of Chipegis Trail dito sa may Henderson. That's the property that we're talking about. And on this asset, this is another corporation that we're gonna build. Magkaiba yung corporation na to at saka yung corporation of Jefferson. Kaya kausap na namin yung broker. We will gonna be needing another general partner on the deal. Ito ay isang magandang introduction. We're talking about yung fundamentals of multifamily investing. Some of the terminologies and some of the highlights nito was already discussed before. So maganda lang siyang balikan kasi this is the beginning of the course that I have with Grant, and a very precious course that opens up my mind. And by the way, after this, I'll discuss with you yung opportunity kasi we will be having some meeting about the new property na possibly acquire. It's 51 units of apartment dito sa may Henderson Highway. Let's start.
Welcome to the fundamentals of multifamily investing. In this introduction, I want to share with you what I hope for you to accomplish out of this program and give you an introduction about what I mean when I talk about real estate. And I'll be reinforcing this as we go through the program from time to time, so you don't get confused with the term real estate and what it means to some people, what it means to you, maybe what it meant to your dad, your uncle, or maybe what you read in some other book. Real estate means different things to different people. So when someone's talking to you about real estate, you need to ask yourself, are you talking about land? Are you talking about commercial property? Are you talking about multifamily? Are you talking about oil land, cattle land? What kind of land are you talking about? Or what kind of real estate are you talking about? For most people, real estate is simply a house where they live. And you've been told, like I was told, that your house is an investment, that your house somehow is a place to store money, keep money, and one day grow old and you'll have your house paid for. And this is the holy grail somehow of how you're going to save, retire, and one day have money.
Gusto kong ikat doon. And then we'll continue right after. Nakita nyo yung how we are being oriented on the real estate, the simple real estate concept?
Yes.
Like, actually in some of his talks, sabi niya na brainwash daw talaga tayo on the idea that our house is an asset. And have you known of some other gurus, I would say, na merong the same paradigm as Grant? Meron na kayo narinig na other people who saying that like, your house is not an asset, is a liability?
Wala pa. My first time to hear it from him.
First time you hear? Yeah. How about you, Roman?
First time.
First time from Grant too? Okay. Because I heard it from few. One of them is si Robert Kiyosaki.
Chad Velasco.
So Robert Kiyosaki is one of the real estate investors that is saying that your house is a liability. It's not an asset. And then isa din sa, well, Warren Buffett is also an investor in real estate. And kung babasahin niyo yung kanyang story in life, he didn't even bother buying a big property or a big house. He just stayed in that simple house that he owned for a very, very long time. Narinig niyo na ba yung kwento ni Warren Buffett?
No.
Yeah. So kung i-observe natin how these people are investing in real estate, they knew for a fact na talagang house is has a different kind of tawag nito. I would say, although it depends at some point, because if your house is making money for you, sasabihin niyo ni Grant later, and paying you something every single month, you can say that your house is an asset. But if it's not, because the definition of an asset is something that something that puts money in your pocket. So if you buy something like tools, you use it for business. So you're making money of it. Ang tawag dun sa tools na yun as asset. So if you have a car and you're using it for service, and it's making money for you, so that car is an asset. So similarly, if it's a house that is making money for you, then it can be considered as an asset. Pero majority of the time, when we talk about houses, this is the place that we live in, and we're not getting money out of it. Tama ba? Would you agree? Disagree?
Agree.
Diba, no? Majority of the time, talagang our house, I would say 99.9% of the time, our house is not something that would put money in our pocket. We always put out money to our house. Tama, Romel? Nung finish mo yung basement mo, kahit sabihin mo ikaw ang nag-finish niyan, gumastos ka dyan. Correct? So sige, let's listen continuously.
Now, I'm not going to get into right now why that's not true, but trust me, it's not true. But in truth, that's dead equity. I don't want to get into you thinking, oh no, my dad told me a house is a great investment. Grant's telling me it's not. Not only is it not a great investment, it's a terrible investment. And I'll prove that to you as I go through.
Anong tawag niya? Terrible investment.
Investment.
Yeah. Ibang klase siya magsalita. Ganon siya ka-straightforward magsalita at mapapatunayan talaga niya yun for so many, with so many, tawag nito, reasons, kumbaga, why a house is a terrible investment. Based on his experience at saka based on his, yung perspective pagdating sa real estate investing. So let's continue.
And by the way, if your dad believes a house is a good investment, then how good is an investment in 200 houses in one location with one address, and you don't pay for any of them? You don't pay to clean them up. You don't pay for the taxes. All you do is receive money from them. That's what we're talking about in this program. There's many conversations and many sides to conversations to what people consider meaningful real estate, and that's what you're looking for. Real estate that pays you every month is what we're talking about in this program. The real estate that I invest in that has created a lifestyle for me like none of my other businesses. I have 7 businesses today, and none of them have the many benefits that this one business, this real estate thing has for me.
Napansin niyo yung how many businesses he has?
Many.
Yeah. Sabi niya right now he has 7.
7, yeah.
7 businesses. And there's nothing in that business that can equate doon sa lifestyle na naibigay sa kanya ng real estate business niya. So the real estate business created a lifestyle for him. And ang sinasabi niya talaga dito is the real estate that puts money in your pocket every month, as in every single month. So yeah, kaya very exciting ang journey ni Uncle sa real estate. You'll know more of this. You'll know more of this. Okay, let's continue.
What I want you to get out of this program is how you can start, what to buy, how to finance it, where to get the funding, where to find your deals, who to talk to, how to talk to them, how to pitch them on a deal, how to get them to sell you a deal, and then how you can sell the deal later to someone else at a profit. I'm going to show you all that. I'm going to show you how I got started. I'm going to show you the mistakes I've made. I'm going to show you the things that I've learned. And I'll promise you, if you just follow the exact strategies that I'm sharing with you, I can't promise that you're going to end up with $1 billion worth of real estate the way I have, but I can promise you this. I'll give you the confidence and the competence to know how to communicate your way through the field in real estate, how to find deals, how to call somebody, how to contact them, how to sell yourself, how to get a deal, how to even possibly raise money and get investors to support you in deals. In chart, what I'm going to do in this program is I'm going to show you how to break the chains of antiquated mindset, your antiquated mindset in investing in real estate. If you go back to the guys, the JP Morgans, like all the super wealthy people over time, including the current investing legends like Warren Buffett, they all had similar things. They took big positions in property and or land, and underneath that, it produced income. And you're like, well, Warren Buffett didn't buy a lot of real estate. His investment in Coca-Cola was a pure real estate play. He bought a major position in a company that was already situated. So if you look at the people that are making moves, even Amazon is actually a real estate play. It's just not one you and I can do. You, like Warren Buffett, or unlike Warren Buffett, myself, unlike Warren Buffett, and or Jeff Bezos, are probably not going to make a Coca-Cola play or an Amazon play. Now, the real estate thing that I'm going to share with you in this program is so real, it's so possible, it's so attainable, and so close to you being able to touch. Like, anybody can do this game. You do not have to be super connected. You don't have to have great credit. You do not have to have some technological background. You don't have to move your company to Silicon Valley. What you need to understand is the difference between great real estate, good real estate, and just garbage real estate. And I'm going to be breaking that down for you in this program. Really, my goal is to convince you that this might be the single best investment and the best use of your money, of anything else you can do. I believe that for myself. I believe it for my family. I have invested literally 95% of my liquidity. Liquidity means how much cash I have sitting around, money I can touch right now. By the way, liquidity is not what you want to keep. You actually want to be illiquid. You want to be illiquid, but only with investments that pay you monthly. So there's got to be a combination. Like, you're illiquid in your home. You can't get the money. That's not good. But if that home paid you money every month, not every 3 or 4 months, but every month. See the house I'm in right now, this guy, the guy that owns this house, he's probably got $40 or $50 million invested in this house. He rents it for 16 grand a day. And you're like, oh my God, he's getting rich. You don't have all the information. You don't know what it costs to run the property. You don't know how often he rents it. You don't know what the property taxes are. You don't know what a hurricane or hurricane insurance costs. All those things will take away from his ability. Also, if he's sitting on 40 or 50 million, he can plug down in a house in Turks and Caicos that he comes to 6 months of the year, and then he rents out for 6 months of the year so that he can get part of his money back. It's just a little play for him. What I'm talking about here is how you can buy real estate without building a railroad the way the old guys did, or without building a steel mill on top of it. How you can invest in real estate that builds true financial freedom and financial security for you, and every month pays you. It is literally a way to buy a job where you're the boss, and the people that work for you, your tenants, are going to take care of the property. They're going to fund the property. They're going to finance the property. They're going to take care of the debt, the expenses, the management, and if you pick the right property, they're going to pay you every month a little extra. There's going to be a little sliver at the end of each month called passive income. And if you're taking notes, you ought to start collecting these terms so you understand and can build competence and confidence in how you invest. They're going to start providing you with cash flow, free cash flow, that will be passive income at some point, and then pay down the debt. Okay, people are like, oh, debt, I don't want debt. You definitely want debt in this type of investment that I'm talking about. So again, we'll go through all that. You got a lot of material to cover. You can always go back and study it. You can go back and rewind it. You can look at a deal and you can say, oh, I'm going to go back and look at those earlier lessons Grant shared with me. And keep in mind, your investment understanding today is different than mine is. I'm going to do my very best, okay, to go back and share with you when I was first getting started and I didn't understand any of these terms. There's so many different terms in the real estate space. Don't let them confuse you. Just learn one at a time. Make sure you don't try to do this without understanding those terms, and it'll all get worked out. Okay, this is a simple thing. It's not complicated. It's very simple, but you need a lot of confidence so that when you find the right deal, and you will, I'll show you how to. When you find the right deal, you'll be able to say, I'm putting money in that deal. I'm gonna put a lot of money in that deal, and I'm willing to take debt on that deal, and I'm willing to go to my mom and my dad, my uncle, my aunt, and I'm willing to raise money from them. Now, if your investment understanding is more about what I talked about earlier, I'm gonna buy a house with 3% down or no money down. If your investment understanding is more about how to buy a house and put 3% down or no money down, and you got that whole thing figured out, you're like, I'm gonna buy a house and I'm gonna make the payments and I'm never gonna get paid back for it, but I'm gonna sell it one day and we're gonna make 100 grand or whatever. See, what you're doing right there is that's one level of understanding about real estate. What I want to do is I want to multiply that, and I want to take you out of the equation so you don't have to make the payments. That's the simplicity of what I'm doing in this course. We're going to take your idea that a house is a good deal, and we're going to put it on steroids. And we're going to say, hey, rather than buying one house in one location, we're going to buy 32 doors, 32 houses in one location. We're going to hire a manager to operate that property. We're going to put some money down. We're going to finance the rest. And there's going to be some money left over every month called cash flow. And then we're going to go out and find another one and do it again. And by the way, we're going to sit and wait. I don't know, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. We're going to sit and wait for the people that live in those homes to pay them down to where I owe nothing. I'm going to show you some magic through this program that in the later courses, that literally it is the magic, it is miraculous. You're going to even ask if it's legal. I'm going to show you how to multiply money ferociously to create not passive income, but massive wealth. I've done it myself. I know other people that have done it. It's simple. It's legal. You just need to know how to do it. Now, the house that you live in, you can keep doing that gig, or I can show you how to play this other game, okay? I do want to do one thing for you is I want to share with you some different definitions of real estate so you're working through what it is for you. So again, if your investment understanding is more about just buying a house and keeping that house for 30 years and then one day you look up and you have some money, I want to open you up to the full spectrum of real estate investing. And I want to explain to you that all real estate is not created equal. There's a lot of different kinds of real estate and I'll be explaining those to you. We're going to be talking and focused on apartment investing. Apartments. Yeah, so you'll hear me refer to these as multifamily apartments, apartment complexes. These are big complexes, like if you're driving down the road and you're in America, because by the way, these don't exist in most countries. You'll see 200 units or 150 units or 30 units. We're going to stay away from the smaller deals. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But my goal here is to introduce you to another way to play the game that is on steroids if you like investing in a home. So look, you're going to love it. We're here to support you. I have an entire staff. I have a company called Cardone Capital. I actually have multiple LLCs, probably 40 of them, that operate apartment deals around the country right now. We have almost 5,000 apartments. I've made the mistakes you don't need to make. I've missed deals that you don't need to miss. I've sold deals that I shouldn't have sold that I should have kept. I didn't know about how to refinance deals, the magic of ferocious wealth building. Didn't know that until later. I mean, I'm going to share everything with you. Everything from 1031s to money down, short-term debt, long-term debt, 3-year, 5 years, adjustables, fixed, all these things that other people have complicated and or not talked about at all, I'll make simple for you, okay? So I look forward to you learning. Let me know what I can do to help you. If you have questions or comments, all you have to do is hit us back. We're happy to help you. Let's get started.
Galing, ano? What is your takeaway? Si Rommel, unahin natin.
House is no good. Should just be looking around and learning more about, I guess, the real estate.
And we are really brainwashed that a house is an asset. I'm one of those, 'di ba? Dapat nga daw aaminin natin 'yan kasi pero alam mo nga, well, based on the way I dealt with clients pagdating sa pagbili ng bahay dito sa Winnipeg, napaka-conservative ko dyan. Kasi nga, ang tingin ko sa bahay is an asset. So, sa tingin ko, pagka masyado na siyang over and above doon sa nakikita kong market value ng property, I really do not push my client na sige, bilhin na natin just to win on a multiple offer. Lalo na ngayon, napakadaming multiple offer situation. So, madalas natatalo ang lola mo. Masyado akong conservative pagdating sa presyo ng bahay. So, anyways, ganun yata talaga ang aking orientation. And it's good I landed into this understanding about multifamily. Did you notice about yung sinasabi ni Uncle na I'll teach you and how you will gonna talk to the broker, have that confidence and competence in doing so. Kasi when you're in the real estate world, in order for you to be noticed and able to get attention ng mga nasa commercial world in real estate or commercial realtors or brokers na tinatawag, you should know their language. Kaya something that you really need to learn about. Kasi if you talk to them and you don't know yung kanilang mga words that they understand, they'll be like, oh, this person is parang bago and doesn't understand what she's talking about. So yeah, but if you got that confidence, yung confidence na yan, ma-experience yan once you are dealing with with a live deal. So it's just so happen na nakaranas kami ng ganun. Kaya talagang parang kahit nangangapa, and because of our coach, nagkaroon ako ng ganong klaseng understanding about real estate dealings. So anyway, si Sister Ellen, anong takeaway mo, sister?
Yung sinabi niya na, no, yung sinampo niya na, no, I don't wanna get indebted. Yung ayaw ng utang. But, ako, ganyan din yung, yung,
Mindset.
ayoko ng utang. But, nung sa session na tayo like this one, and when you mention about that, yun, nag-open na ako ng line of credit. Oh, di ba? Bakit nga? Di ba? Tama naman nga eh. Lahat ng mga negosyante talaga or investors, ang ginagamit nila, they're leveraging on other person's money. Di ba?
Correct. Correct.
Kaya yun yung aking takeaway dyan.
That's so true. That's so true. And especially, nandito tayo gusto sumali ng aking baby. And especially, nandito tayo sa Canada. The way people build their business sa North America is capitalism, diba? They use other people's money to build businesses. Kaya yun yung kailangan as much as possible ma-open yung mind natin. Kasi back home sa Pilipinas kasi 'di ba syempre dahil sa orientation natin, takot na takot tayong mangutang kasi ang hirap magbayad and walang opportunity doon. Parang nalimitahan na yung ating mind to explore. Yun yung sinasabi ni Uncle dito na he will gonna open up yung ganong klaseng opportunity to us para makita natin there is really another parang a bigger horizon na nami-miss natin. Kumbaga alala ko tuloy yung kwento ng donut. Di ba yung donut may butas, right? Doon tayo nakatingin sa butas hindi natin nakikita yung donut. Wala. Sabi mo, wala Wala naman O di ba kasi doon tayo, yung mata natin nandun sa butas ng donut. Hindi natin nakikita yung napakalaking donut na, ayan na, andyan na siya. So, that's how our minds were, tawag nito, tamed. And there's a lot of actually tests sa nature where they set boundaries, and because we are part of nature, yung ating ganun tayo na mindset, like okay, dito ka lang sa bahay, huwag kang aalis. So ang tendency natin is dito lang ako sa bahay, hindi ako aalis, 'di ba? O wag kang pupunta diyan kasi may danger diyan. 'Di ba? So what we tend to do is to not go there because there's a danger. We always taught our kids, do not talk to strangers. 'Di ba? Yun yung mga teachings natin. So as we go older, kahit matanda na tayo, ayaw pa rin natin makipag-usap. Wala tayong new friends. 'Di ba? So marami tayong mga ganong limitations. Kaya even sa life, yung pag-explore natin ng opportunities, we are just limiting ourselves to what we believe in. So, kailangan matuto tayo moving forward to explore. Because if other people can do it, why can't we? 'Di ba? Yun lang naman ang ating pinanghahawakan. Why can't we do it if others can? So, yun yung ating i-explore. Okay, meron tayong isa pang kasama dito, si Brother Jojo. Jo, do you have any takeaways on the video that you watched? Andiyan si Brother Jo, si Jo. Jo, andyan ka ba?
Nakamute siya eh.
Nakamute si Jo. Wanna share something? Ang aking sweetheart naman, nasa labas.
Hello.
Ayan si Jo.
Sorry, hindi ako
Jo.
makapag-video. I
It's
think
okay.
na late din ako pero parang narinig ko kay Grant na once na nagawa mo na siya one time, it's like rinse and repeat na lang. Yeah, so once na
Simula ka na.
try ka na ng isang beses, it's easy to do the second one because you learn from your mistakes.
That's so true. Papa, ikaw ba may takeaways dyan? Alam ko, multitasker ka eh.
Nakamute ka.
Nakamute ka, Papa. Share your takeaway. Tinuturuan ko na siyang maging independent kasi lagi kaming magkasama eh. So, nandun lang siya. Nandun lang. Papa, share your takeaways. Unmute yourself.
Hindi niya ma-mute eh.
Hindi niya ma-unmute yung sarili niya. Ayan, yan yung mga technical na kailangan kasama ako ni Papa para makapagsalita siya.
Ayaw mo na siya magtrabaho doon.
Yeah, but anyways, ganun talaga ganun talaga ang ang mind, 'di ba? And tama yung sinabi ni Jojo. I heard Grant told that too. And even my coach, sabi niya, once you experience it once, it's gonna be easy for you to have the second one, the third, the fourth, kasi it's just a repetition. And habang nire-repeat mo yung process, it becomes too easy for you. Kasi you can see, and then na-experience mo, so you can actually see what's coming. Ang galing talaga. And especially Joe, if you have the numbers. Remember, doon tayo nagsimula nitong early this year. If you understand what are the most important numbers in real estate, so yun yung if you know the numbers, you can really move forward dahil numbers will never lie. Yun yung napakagandang guide natin dito sa investments. And again, yung exploration natin dito bilang mga bagong investors, I was like, yes, this is sa simula parang nakakatakot. Sino ba naman ang hindi matatakot, 'di ba? But ang nakakatuwang exploration nito, once na nakapagsimula ka na, ba't nga ba tayo hindi natakot bumili ng bahay? Yun lang ang basihan ko eh. I was like, why are we not scared of buying a house? Eh yung bahay, binabayaran natin with our own resources. Eh yung ganitong klaseng mga portfolio, hindi natin to, binabayaran tayo. Diba? Binabayaran tayo. Why would we be scared? Kaya it's just our thinking that blocks us sa opportunity na ganito. It's just the way we think. And because we're talking about big numbers, yun yung parang it kills us right away. Parang, how can I afford that? Kasi yung limiting beliefs, yun yung sinasabi nilang Wayne. Yung limiting beliefs, hindi ko kaya yan, masyadong malaki yan, or para sa kanila lang yan, it's not really meant for me. I don't wanna be stressed thinking about it. Or parang masyado na mga taas ng aking pangarap para, no. Diba? Unless somebody na magbibigay sa'yo ng parang, no, don't think about that. Kasi that's how people are building their wealth, and that's how you can help a lot of people too. Kaya nga, it's just more about our thinking. Yun yung kailangan nating matutunan talaga dito, aside from really understanding how real estate works here. I would like to share with you na merong upcoming opportunity sa Winnipeg, and ipag-pray natin. I really request each and every one of us to include this in your prayers. Kasi yung 51 units in the north side of Chipegis Trail dito sa may Henderson. That's the property that we're talking about. 51 doors. And tiningnan lang namin sa Google. Gusto niyo malaman kung anong address? Bigyan na. Surprise! Kasi hindi pa namin nakukuha yung hindi pa namin nakukuha yung numbers. Pero this is how it looks like on the top view. So it's a U-shaped property, 51 units along Henderson Highway.
Left or right ng Chipegis?
Sabi ko naman si sister, ayan na nga, sabihin ko na yung address. Pero wag niyo
Kaya
pagsasabi
pag-usap.
ah. Wag niyo pagsasabi ah, biglang ganun ano. Pero recorded to, kailangan i-off record ko. Mamaya i-off record ko bago tayo mag-out.
Wala pa sa
Um,
ano,
ha?
net.
Wala siya sa LoopNet because it's an off-market. Kaya nga, nire-request ko na isama natin sa prayer. Sana ibigay sa atin ang off-market deal ito ng seller. Kasi babasahin ko sa inyo yung sinabi ng agent na ito yung ano niya, sabi niya, "Hi Mel, we're going to have evaluation to the vendor in the next couple of days." Kanina lang to. Kahapon pala, sorry. Sabi niya, "In order for me to be able to try and convince them to do an off-market deal, I need to be able to convince them where you are at financially to close." So, ang kailangan natin kasi dito, this is a 6.5 to 7 million worth of property. Okay? And 30 days to 60 days to close. Mabilis. Okay? But again, it will be depending on the due diligence. So, after due diligence, 30 days yun. So, minsan ang due diligence, it's around 60 to 90 days ang due diligence. So kung titingnan natin, it's about 120 days. If we were gonna write an offer at the beginning of August, so 4 months. December possession date or January ang possession date nito. Ganun ang sistema. And we need pagka 6 million ang pinag-uusapan, 6 or 7 million sabihin na natin on the far side. Your 30% is about $2 million. That's the fund that we need to raise as a group. So, kung apat lang tayo, tigpa 500,000 tayo. Kayang-kaya,
Okay.
di ba? Baryang-barya lang yan.
Oo, kaya yun.
Di ba? Di ba? Kailangan malaki na yung psychological wallet moving forward. Okay? Sabi ko nga, kung 10 tayo, tig to 200,000 tayo, napaka-simpleng computation. Kung kausap ko kanina yung agent, sabi ko sa kanya, I was able to raise a deal, raise funds without any experience last January in 6 days, 1.7 million. So siguro kaya kong mag-raise ng fund ng 2 million. Now that all of us or majority of us that wanting to be part of this has the knowledge ng opportunity. It's just a matter of the numbers. Kaya kausap na namin yung broker, we will gonna be needing another general partner on the deal. So, ang general partner, for sure mag-extend tayo ng a little bit more dito. Ang general partner doesn't necessarily be a person who has much money on or more money to invest or more capital contributions to put in a deal. Hindi yon, hindi doon nasusukat. Ang general partner is someone who can ang dito sa atin sa banking side, ang gusto nila people who can parang guarantor. Yun ang tawag nila dito. But it's just someone who at some point knows what they're doing. Okay? Yun yung mga general partners. Isa lang sa parang isang point ng pagiging general partner is if you have some money to invest upfront, magiging part ka ng ikaw yung nagbibigay ng deposit, ikaw yung tawag nito, nagwo-work on ng process ng inspection, environmental search, yung mga ganon. You're part of the first group who's working on the deal. Ang passive investors kasi or limited partners na tinatawag, they just put their money into it and then that's it, done, bye-bye, okay na. My money will gonna work. Okay, ganun ang limited partners. But ang general partners are there from the beginning of the deal, underwriting the deals, putting some money on the deals upfront, and then working on the numbers together so magkakasama. Initially, dun sa first deal namin, kami ni Sister Berna yun. This time, we will gonna be opening maybe 2 or 3 para maging 5 tayong magkakasama doon sa asset na yon. And we'll see. And the more information that we have moving forward, mas maganda kasi magiging part kayo. KP kung tawagin, key person. Magiging key person kayo ng asset na to. And on this asset, this is another corporation that we're gonna build. Hindi ito kapareho ng, magkaiba yung corporation na to at saka yung corporation ng Jefferson. Yung first asset. It's gonna be 2 different corporation. Kaya that's how it is for a GP part. Kaya tinawag siyang general partner. But the good thing there is limited partner has ang tawag nito, mas malaki ang interest of ownership ng general partner compared to limited partners. Kasi they can participate on the ups. Meron silang extra points kumbaga. If you will be putting some money on as a general partner, kahit pareho kayo ng limited partner, let's say, tigwa 100,000 kayo, general partner ka. Si limited partner, kung makakakuha siya ng 5% doon sa 100,000 niya, si general partner doon sa 100,000 niya, magiging about, let's say, 6.5 or 7%. That's how it is being, tawag nito, parang yung pinaka, hindi share yung percentage of ownership, yung percentage of interest, nagkakaroon siya ng mas higher ang general partners compared sa limited partners. So that's how it works. Kaya compensated ka bilang general partner of the deal. So, yung mga marurunong gumawa yung mga nagre-renovate or mga contractor, minsan on some of the deals na ginagawa nila sa US, even if they don't have money as part of that particular asset portfolio, ang nangyayari sa kanila, general partner sila, and they contribute what they knew. Sila yung nag-handle ng renovations. Yun ang kanilang participation. So it doesn't necessarily mean money, but it's also their, tawag nito, yung kanilang capability to work on a project. Yun ang kanilang magiging contribution as general partner. So those are the things. Maybe next time we're gonna discuss yung mga roles na yan. Kasi you have to understand how the partnership works and how we are being benefited bilang part ng ganitong klaseng structure of an organization. So that will be our next session. So yan, nag-extend ako ng 3 minutes. Do you have any other questions so far dun sa discussion natin?
Hello?
Joe, yes.
Anong maximum ng partners na hinahanap natin? Ilan?
On this particular tawag nito, deal, if we can get this one, if we get it under contract, doon ko malalaman kung ilan yung magiging partners natin. Pero doon sa initial that I have in mind na $2 million to raise, I'm thinking of a simple calculation na 20 persons na tig 100,000 each.
Okay, thank
So
you.
yun yung initial ano ko. Okay. So any other questions? So far so good.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
Hel,
sige.
one last.
Sige, kahit meron.
So yung 20 na yun, is it better kung mas marami or the more the better or the less?
The more the better. Actually, yung numbers kasi ng investors, ang sinasabi mo, Joe? Yeah. Mas limited kasi yung numbers, mas madali siyang i-manage pagdating sa distribution, pagdating sa ang tawag nito, paperwork sa lawyers. Kasi the more partners we have on the deal, the more expensive our lawyers' fees. Kasi tayo nagbabayad noon. Mas preferred nga nila na mas less ang partners kasi mas mabilis siyang i-work on kaysa dun sa marami. Now, we were just advised by both lawyers and accountant based on our previous acquisition to increase the value of the contributions ng partners. Kasi is because it's a bigger asset, mas maganda daw na ang bawat investors has $100,000 of stake doon sa interest ng ownership. Parang ganon yung suggestion nila. Kasi yun daw, nakakatuwa nga sabi nila, yun daw 50,000, parang ano lang siya, line of credit kayang-kaya. sabi ko na, sabi ko oo nga, pero sa aming mga Pilipino, parang ang laking kayamanan na niyang 50,000, di ba? Ganun naman ang reality talaga nun eh. Pero ang sinasabi nila, kasi nga we have to, I mean, think about this is $1 million asset. And yung parang fraction, so little of a fraction yung $50,000 to be part of to be an owner. I was like, talagang privilege. It's a big privilege for all of us to be part of this. Yun yung pinakamaganda nun. And we'll see how it will gonna work kasi marami akong kausap, nakasama na rin natin dito sa session that would really want to be part of the next acquisition and they're gonna be putting in more than 100,000 each. So kung mangyayari yon na meron tayong 100, may magbibigay ng 250,000, may magbibigay ng 200,000 or baka si Romel 1 million yun sa kanyang contribution. So konti lang talaga kailangan natin, baka ilan lang tayo, di ba? So anyways, that's how it will be. Lagi naman ganun ng ano natin, we're open dun sa idea na okay, put me in, be part of the next acquisition group, and this will be my commitment. Pwede tayong mag-create ng ganon. And I know if this deal will gonna happen to us by next month, kasi two weeks na sinasabi nila eh, by next month, so that's August, September. By end of October, kailangan meron na tayong commitment on how much are we going to put in to be part of that deal. Ganun ang mangyayari sa atin. So as early on, although ang closing pa natin is January, as early as September, kailangan nating not necessarily na nasa iisang funds kasi I don't want to get funds from investors without really putting all the paperwork ng lawyer. Ganun ang ginagawa namin. It has to be all in kung meron ng instruction si lawyer. Ganun ang gagawin natin. And if there's nothing like that, you're gonna keep your money in your own account or wherever. So we're gonna consolidate all of the funds pag dumating na yung advice ni lawyer that we have to put our funds on a certain basket. Ganun ang mangyayari. So, ayun. So Joe, if you have questions, andito lang ako. Just kung ano yung gustong, alam ko maraming questions si Joe dahil isa sila sa talagang napaka-open silang mag-asawa ni Flo is very open to the idea of investing. Kaya it's just a matter of yung guide and ano yung mga step by step na dapat nating matutunan.